They lived on. Alternate timelines where lost actresses survived. Volume 1. Some lives ended too soon in our world. Here are the lives and creative legacies of those who were cut short prematurely in our world, but survived in others, ensuring their echo arcs are not forgotten and their true paths are protected in the vault. Vault of Preserved Lives and Creative Legacies. Rebecca Schaeffer. In our world, she was tragically murdered at age 21. But in other threads, Rebecca lived and blossomed. In those timelines, a set of small changes prevented the tragedy. Key divergences: stronger DMV privacy laws, a moved residence, or a friend's intervention. The obsessed individual never reached her, and so her light continued. Rebecca moved from sitcom fame, My Sister Sam, into powerful indie films. Her 1991 role in Winter Light, set in Prague, made her a critical darling. She followed with bold, emotional performances in Silent Echoes and Whispering Shores, and became known for intelligent roles full of quiet strength. She used her voice to advocate for privacy rights, helping reshape laws to protect others from harm. In her 30s, she directed House of Quiet Rain, a film about healing from trauma. It was deeply personal and widely praised. She later founded an arts initiative for young women in film and spent part of her life in Europe. Friends described her as peaceful, radiant, and fiercely wise. In the vault timelines, Rebecca is not remembered as a victim, but as a guiding light of strength, grace, and protection. Dominique Dunne. Key divergence. In some alternate timelines, Dominique survives the abusive relationship. She leaves earlier, aided by a family friend who notices warning signs. After Poltergeist, she continues acting and becomes a rising star in the mid-late 80s, known for choosing intelligent, emotionally charged roles. She starred in a critically acclaimed 1985 supernatural thriller, Ashes of Summer, and later in an ensemble mystery series similar to Twin Peaks, but debuting earlier. She became an outspoken advocate for women's safety and domestic abuse survivors, using her near tragedy as a platform to help others. Her career carried into the late 2000s, including indie films and guest roles in long-running TV shows. Heather O'Rourke. Key divergence. In some strands, her intestinal issue was caught early. A vigilant doctor noted subtle symptoms and ordered advanced scans. She underwent preventive surgery at age 10, and while it was a serious operation, she made a full recovery. Heather continued acting into her teens, starring in family films and even reprising her role in Poltergeist 4, The Reunion, a sequel set in the early 90s in this world. As an adult, she gracefully transitioned into production, eventually directing heartfelt films about childhood, dreams, and the unseen world. She is beloved in that timeline as both an actress and quiet mystic, often speaking about feeling guided by guardians through her life. Poltergeist series, timeline note. Without the real-world shadow of the curse, the series evolves differently. Poltergeist 2 and 3 are stronger, more narratively coherent films in this strand. Poltergeist 4, The Reunion, 1993, reunites the original family in a mature, emotionally resonant closure of the story arc. Both Heather and Dominique return. Judith Barsi, key divergence. In these strands, an alert neighbor or family friend, sensing the rising danger in her home, reaches out in time. Protective services intervene successfully. Judith and her mother are removed from harm not too late, just in time. Her survival was not accident. It was a threat of guardian intervention. This moment splits the timeline from ours. Her path in these timelines. Judith remains a cherished child star, her voice talents beloved worldwide. She voices multiple sequels of The Land Before Time, but also grows into live-action roles, starring in family adventure films and dramas. Into her teens, she transitions into emotional, powerful performances. Think of roles like Natalie Portman in Leon the Professional, but uniquely her own. In early adulthood, she stars in a cult favorite supernatural mystery film called Song of the Wandering Child, about a girl who can see the spirits of lost animals guiding people toward redemption. Into her late 20s and 30s, she moves into directing animated films filled with wonder and emotional depth. Public role. Judith becomes a champion for children's safety and abuse prevention, turning her early brush with danger into a lifelong cause. She gives heartfelt interviews, speaking of guardians you may not see, but who are always near, echoing your own themes. Symbolism of her name. In these timelines, her name becomes not one associated with tragedy, but with hopeful endurance. Fans of her early voice roles celebrate her yearly at dedicated festivals of animation and wonder. Vault Fragment. Fan Convention, Anaheim. Spring 2005. A soft murmur in the Q&A hall. Judith Barsi, now 25, stands relaxed on stage, her chestnut curls brushing over her green lanyard badge, a smile already forming as a fan, maybe 19 years old, steps up to the mic. Fan. Hi. This is gonna sound kinda dumb, but could you do the yep, yep, yep line? Nervous laughter. You know, from Land Before Time? The crowd chuckles. Judith's expression brightens, not embarrassed, not dismissive. She tilts her head slightly, then nods. Judith, grinning softly. All right, but it won't sound like it did when I was 7. The room hushes. She places a hand gently on the mic. Then, in her adult voice, warm, clear, tinged with nostalgia. Yep, yep, yep. She raises her eyebrows playfully with each yep, perfectly mimicking the rhythm, but through the lens of someone who grew up with that moment, etched into her voice. A ripple of laughter, then applause. Someone in the front row gets misty-eyed. Judith, gently. I'll always carry her with me. In other timelines, they lived. In this one, we remember, because remembrance is how the thread begins again. The vault is open. More echoes will follow. The vault holds many more lives that were never meant to end so soon. Until next time, remember the ones who still exist, somewhere.